We got a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to talk about today. Kaz, a whole villain. And Tyler too. Hey guys, it's Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. Back at it again with another video. If you have not subscribed, guys, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, my Patreon, and my TikTok for Love Island reviews as well. Go head over there and let's get straight into this video. This video is sponsored by Frontline Therapist. Please go and check them out. Please go and check them out. You know, very good company. You can get free counselling sessions. Use my code below. All right, so this was a very interesting episode, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it wasn't something in relation to drama and arguments and beef. It was more so about how people are moving and how we've not seen that before, and you know what that entails. I do feel like I didn't honestly see Tyler dumping Clarisse like that. I just did not see that. The fact that he ended it, she was really irritated. She took her heels off and she just walked away. And of course, Matthew is not really being respected as well. Sometimes it appears to me that Matthew may not even be into Kaz, but we don't know that by fact. Do you understand? Like, we can't really say this is going to be another Gregory because we don't know that yet by fact. So we should only go by the facts of a conversation. Maybe he just has, you know, an emotionless face. But I do feel like Kaz is in the wrong in this situation. I do feel like Tyler is in the wrong when it comes to the situation. I said I wanted this villain edit for Kaz. Well, you know, Love Island said, you know what, we're going to give it to you. and here we are. I do feel like for her to be giving that long speech about how much she likes him and wants to give him 100% or whatever for the recoupling, and then you're out here jealous of a kiss and, you know, obviously talking on the terrace and talking about how the door is slightly open, it's unfair to him and it's disrespectful. If this was how Matthew was behaving towards Kaz, we would all be crucifying him. Let's not lie. You know, you have to be objective here, and I felt like she should have gone back and spoken to Matthew straight away, but she didn't. She went to the girls and whatever and was lingering around. It wasn't as if it was on her agenda to speak to Matthew straight away. I feel like, you know, he is exhausted from this process. He's come in from Casa Amor, seeing the beef between Tyler and Kaz, seeing that he's a second option, waiting for Kaz to give, you know, her all, and she really hasn't, and he's just fed up from the situation. He doesn't communicate as greatly, and I feel like you need to do that, and he doesn't. And when he meant by, you know, oh, it's not that deep, what he was referring to was the fact that it was early days for the relationship, which it is 3-4 days, and you know, of course, time goes on. But if Kaz's eyes are wandering and the doors are still cracking and opening for Tyler, why would someone like Matthew want to continue to put his, you know, investments into Kaz, knowing that she could wander off because it could be a waste of energy when he could be laying down with somebody who's totally invested into him? So I can understand his frustration, and I feel like, you know, he should have been spoken to first, and he wasn't, and it was very disrespectful. The same for Clarisse. Why would you bring her back into Casa Amor when you don't like her that much and you like Kaz more? Why would you do that? You're so besotted over Kaz for some reason right now, but in Casa Amor you didn't even think about her, and now you've dragged her here and you've wasted her time. It's very unfair on both of these individuals. Both Matthew and Clarisse have been disrespected entirely from the situation, and I don't think Kaz really gets it. You know, for her to initially be saying, oh, I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I spoke to the girls first, like, relax, calm down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like he's coming to you, he's worried about stuff, he's annoyed by stuff, and you're on the defense, and you should have gone to him before the girls, because you said that he was the one that you're going to be invested in. Evidently you're not, because you're entertaining these conversations when Tyler pulled you about how the door should be cracked. The door should be fully closed. Do you understand? The door should be closed. It should not have opened. Once you've recoupled with this man and you have chosen him, I know feelings are there, but the door should be closed, and you should have stuck with Matthew. I feel like it's just not fair. I prefer Kaz with Matthew. Although Kaz and Tyler have this chaotic kind of addictive energy, I do prefer that. Now, Kaz is the villain in the situation, so is Tyler. But let's not act like Kaz is the biggest villain in the world when we have people like Toby and Liam who are breathing and very present in the villa right now. And Liam was literally cheating with multiple girls. Lily came back and exposed him. Lily really spoke to Millie and exposed him again. But everybody's saying Millie, Moo and Liam, Millie, Moo and Liam. Do you understand? So I do feel like somebody like Liam is, you know, far worse. It's not a competition, and it doesn't mean that me saying Toby and Liam are far worse, that it absolves any accountability from Kaz or Tyler, especially Kaz. It really doesn't at all. But it just means that, you know, I have noticed that there seems to be a stronger reaction for Kaz than other counterparts on the show that have done arguably way worse, like way worse. And I've noticed that kind of shift, and I think it's also unfair. But at the same time, it's also okay to say that Kaz was wrong in this situation and she was disrespectful. Listen, I've stand Kaz from day one, but you know I'm objective on this channel, and I feel like the way she's treated this whole situation is not right. And Tyler, both of them have gone about this completely different and have not really took in the other person's feelings, you know, who... If you're saying a whole speech for me, but then you're talking to somebody else about how doors are open or whatever, I want to feel annoyed. I want to feel like, wait, hold on, you're not really there for me. Why are you leading me on? Why are you wasted my time? So both Clarisse and both Matthew have had their time wasted, and I'm not pleased with Kaz's actions at all in the situation, and I feel like she should have dealt with them far more maturely, but she didn't. Same goes for Tyler. I feel like he should have not brought Clarisse back from Casa Amor. If you genuinely liked Kaz so much, you wouldn't have done this, and then you've dumped her in front of everybody, wasted her time and embarrassed her, and it's simply not fair. You have to stick with the facts, because if it was well reversed and Matthew was doing this to Kaz, we would be irritated and we would be crucifying him for the fact that he's wasting her time, and the fact that she's had her time wasted a plethora of times in the villa. A lot of people saying, oh, why didn't nobody have this energy for Toby? Everybody loves Toby. This is what I find irritating, because people forget who he was coupled up with. When he was coupled up with Kaz and he kind of, you know, left her out in the woods and was going with Chloe, Toby was getting dragged thick and thin. But when Toby did the same thing to Chloe and kind of dumped her, whatever, people were happy about it because Chloe was getting her karma. It depends on who the person it was. With Chloe, there wasn't much drama or draggings because people thought that she deserved it because of how Kaz was treated. So I feel like, you know, there was a dragging for Toby, and there definitely was a dragging for Liam, but I feel like this particular situation, I don't think she's done the worst thing out of anybody in the world. Not that we should be comparing, but I feel like there is somewhat of an over critique and reaction for her. But at the same time, by me saying that I feel like there's an overreaction of hate, it doesn't mean that it absolves any accountability from her or that she's wrong in the situation. This is what I find so annoying. It's like you have to only pick one. You can't think of two. It's called literally critical thinking. You can go back and forth. You can contradict yourself. It's a show. You watch it every single day and it changes. Everybody loves Kaz, and people are annoyed with her because of these actions. Same goes to Liam, same goes to Toby, and whatever. But I feel like there is an overreaction of hate, and I feel like that is an issue, most definitely. And I feel like there needs to be a conversation of, you know, when you have the likes of Liam and Kaz, and when they both do wrong actions, one worse than the other, because Liam is a white man, because Kaz is a black woman, there is going to be a lot more subconscious or conscious hate more for Kaz than for Liam, even though Liam's actions were worse. That kind of understanding and conversation would need to play into the factor. For example, Shannon, a brown girl, was dumped in 48 hours because she was apparently refusing to kiss somebody or whatever. But then you have Hugo in this competition who's been there for 5 weeks and has not entertained any one of these girls or is really interested in any of them. It's been 5 weeks, guys. 5 weeks. Not every single little thing is a race issue, but in actual fact, a lot of it can be when it comes to your subconscious and what happens in this world. Hugo within himself, I find to be thoroughly not entertaining. God forbid. Wow. I find him to be very irritating. He again isn't really interested in Amy, and he's not seeing where anything goes. And it's like, what do you want in this time? This is the 4th or 5th girl. You didn't even find anybody then from Casa Amor. You did nothing at all with Georgia or anybody else who is trying to lay it on you. You're just not interested. What are you doing? Do you have a girlfriend outside in the villa? I think it's very annoying. I think it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Just hopefully he gets dumped tomorrow and needs to leave the villa because he does not need to be here. It's just like he's just coasted completely. This guy is not Dr. Alex, because even he had Ellie for a minute. This guy's done nothing. Like, he just needs to go away, man. Like, it's just, it's not even funny anymore. I'm not going to go in and critique the guy. He just needs to leave the villa. It's just watching like paint dry. It's just so boring. I want to go live tonight again to discuss the situation because there's a lot to discuss and talk about, and I really want to get into it. But at the same time, I do feel like, number one, Kaz and Tyler were wrong in the situation and they were disrespectful. But number two, if people in the other villa have done far worse. Number three, I do feel like because of how Kaz looks and her, you know, whether it be her gender, whether it be race, this can enable even more hate, and I feel like it can be wrong to do that when other people have done far worse. And number four, you can think about 1, 2, and 3, but also understand that none of it absolves any of Kaz's accountability and that she's wrong in the situation. And so was Tyler. They both went about the situation wrong, and they disrespected both Matthew and Clarisse, and they could have spoken to them properly immediately. Tyler could have told Clarisse and Casa Amor, and Kaz would not have led Matthew on to an extent, and actually told him, rightly so. He's irritated. He feels like he's having his time wasted, and I completely understand that from Matthew's perspective. Child, Kaz, can we? I don't even think we can, man. Kaz, can we? I don't even think we can. Do you understand? I don't even think we can, guys. Listen, I stand people, but you can still critique people who are stand. Nobody should be not critiqued. I don't understand this. So anybody that says, oh my god, Mariah, you don't critique, well, here's a whole video of me critiquing one of my favorite girls in the villa. Kaz was wrong in this situation and it ain't gonna change, but let's not highlight other people in the villa have done far worse. And I just feel like, you know, it's very interesting when you have race dynamics, it can subconsciously enable a lot of hatred. And I feel like that in itself is a situation. But this whole season is very wild to me. Like, I find it to be very, very interesting because, you know, Kaz was loved, now she's doing up this. Everybody liked Toby, and look what and we hated him at first, sorry, and now we like him a lot. We didn't expect Liam to do that, but like, it keeps flipping. I think it's interesting. This particular episode has generated so much conversation. That's what I like it. It's not a dramatic episode in terms of drama, beef, whatever. It's more so of a conversation of who's in the right, who's in the wrong, who should be critiqued, who should be not critiqued. You know, is Kaz in the wrong? Is she in the wrong? It just flips everybody. You point out conversations and you go back and forth. What I don't like is when people get really mean to each other, but at the same time, it generates a lot of buzz, and I think it's just very interesting. Very interesting. I do feel like Kaz was wrong in this situation, and I feel like she should have apologized to Matthew. I feel like Tyler should apologize to Clarisse as well. I can understand Matthew's frustration in that Tyler spoke to Matthew about the fact that, you know, the door's open or whatever, but Kaz never spoke to Matthew about that. It should be Kaz who should be doing that. She didn't do it. One thing I'll say is this: I don't think there's any malice intent behind Kaz's intentions. I don't think she's trying to be a bully or try to be evil, but some of the actions could have definitely been better, and I feel like people need to be held accountable for their actions. And, you know, you can still stand people and, you know, be critical. Like, I don't understand. Hopefully she apologizes to Matthew, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. At one point I was like, is Kaz going to be dumped? But I was like, okay, glad that she wasn't dumped, because it's too early for her to go as well, because I still want to see her on the screens. But I feel like this is a very interesting character development, and it's very thrilling and entertaining to watch when it comes to, you know, you love somebody, then they're doing something wrong. What do people think about it? Are they going to justify it? Are they going to explain it? Are they going to make them accountable? It's very interesting. The discourse is very interesting. I'm very keen to see what everybody thinks in the comment box below, and that's why I'm going to go live again tonight, because I'm going to be very keen to see what you guys think about the situation in real time. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Subscribe to the channel, click that button, guys, for daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video. Click that button and subscribe. If you have not subscribed, what are you doing? Click that button.